Hi guys, a very warm welcome from Arjati Creations. Today I welcome you to the lesson 1 that is for Mandala for Beginners. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to draw the basic shapes as well as filler patterns. Now for this I have taken this grid copy and approximate size of each of the grid is half a centimeter. Even if you have a bigger grid copy, that is fine. We need to practice a lot of designs as well as patterns so that our mandalas come out to be perfect as we start drawing them from the next class. So let us get started. Now the first thing that you need to practice is lines. Now when you are practicing lines, you need to practice standing lines. The next comes sleeping lines. Next comes drawing lines very close to each other. So because it is a grid copy, you can approximately divide and draw your lines at equal distances like this. And in the same manner, you are going to draw your lines at equal distances like this. So do a little practice of your lining work. Now the second thing which is very important is the shape of the petal. Now for the petal shape, here I am using one grid to make one petal. So these are the petal shapes, simple round petals. You can draw bigger petals as well and practice like this. So we are going to draw bigger petals also and practice. The third shape, which is very important, are dashed lines. Now in the dashed lines, what we are going to do is, we are going to draw one full line, one half line, one full line, one half line. And we will draw them in the smaller box also, like this. We will draw it in the opposite way. Like this. Next comes fourth, is dots and circles. Now when we are drawing dots and circles is, first we are going to take 4 of these to draw a circle, see like this. And dots. Next we are going to draw them in one small grid like this. So the grid copy here will give you dimension to draw these basic shapes. Now the fifth basic shape that is important are the triangles. Now for the triangles, we are going to first draw it in the form of bigger triangles. And next we are going to draw them like this. And the third one comes when we are drawing very small triangles like this. So it is important to practice these drawings in various sizes. The next comes the long petals. Now here we have drawn the normal petals. Now we are going to learn the long petals. So for the long petals I am drawing a baseline, and this is a long petal like this. Like this. Now you should also practice it sideways like this, and practice it the other way. in the opposite direction. Like this. Now comes the seventh. Now the seventh are drop petals. Now what are drop petals? For the drop petals, just draw a reference line from the midpoints of these. I'm going to draw a drop. See, this is a drop shape. So first draw the drop shape. These are the longer drop petals. I'll show you how to draw shorter drop petals also. 1 minute. In this, what we are going to do is we are going to make a smaller circle in between lines. Like this. Now for the smaller drop petals, it is going to be like this. These become the smaller drop petals. Now comes the eighth, that is line and dot. Now the line and dot is simple. First make a line and then at each of these points give a dot. Next comes the spirals. Now spirals, first we will draw bigger spirals like this. Like this. Then we will draw smaller spiral. And now practice it in the opposite direction also. So it is going to be like this. And this spiral. Now comes, now the 10th is also a very important shape. It is this pointed petal shape. So this is the pointed petal. In this, practice smaller parts also. Because as we start drawing mandala from the next lesson, we will need these grid lines as well as you will have grid lines in between which we will be giving these different shapes. So the more you practice, the better it is going to get. Now, another way to practice the same is inside this draw. So see, when you have a grid paper, you can see how symmetric they have started coming out. Now let us learn some filler patterns. So I'll just give the heading of filler patterns. Now these filler patterns are very important for making our mandalas prettier. Now the first filler patterns we will draw most of the filler patterns in the pointed petals. You can also decide to draw them and practice them in triangles. So first comes some basic filler patterns. So I'm drawing a reference line. Now when we will first draw the pointed petals. Like this. The first is we are going to draw a double line. So ensure that when you are drawing a double line, the distance between the two lines is absolutely same. This is very important when you want to make mandalas to be absolutely symmetric. Now once you've done that, divide it. This is the first one, so we are just dividing it. In this we are going to give lines. These are slanting lines. And we are going to fill up the other part completely using black color. So you can use any pen or sketch pen to fill up. Now I have drawn few pointed petals here, and I will show you different kinds of ways in which we are going to design. So first we'll start with simple designing, and then we'll move to a little more complicated design. So first and the foremost is to draw a double line. Okay, now it is a simple dot and a line. I'll show you again, it's a simple dot and a line, but I'm drawing it on the middle grid line. Okay, this way. The next pattern, which is very popular and looks really elegant when you are doing your mandalas, is lining like this. These are simple forms of lining, but they look very elegant in your mandalas. So do sufficient practice of these mandala fillers as well as patterns so that you can draw your mandalas perfectly well. And since mandalas are therapeutic, you can put on light music and do this. Now the next is we are going to divide first, then second, and then a small colored portion in between. So try now that the amount of distance we keep here, the same amount of distance we keep across all the mandalas, like this. Like this. Next is where we are going to do lining work on both sides, slanting lines. Simple slanting lines on both sides. Now here I'll show you two different patterns. And the other one, first I'm going to draw alternate slanting lines, and I'll use my sketch pen in this. I'm not doing anything in the other half. Okay, the next. In this, I'm going to divide this into half, and I'm going to have different dot sizes here, see, and I'm going to have these slanting lines, but slanting lines with a twist. So this has different dots. That is why practicing dots is really important. So small dot, bigger dot, biggest dot, slanting lines. Like this. Now let me draw more pointed petals and show you some more filler patterns. Now I have drawn few more. Let us now learn some more filler patterns. So in this particular filler pattern, we are going to draw vertical lines. And in the alternate ones, I am going to do line. So just draw vertical lines. Just ensure that when you are dividing it vertically, the number of vertical divides are same across all of these. Okay. Now let us learn the next type here. Now for this particular pattern, what I am going to be doing is that I am going to draw a spiral here, so the spirals meet, and a dot here. So it's like a spiral here, and a dot. Like this. It looks very pretty when we do it. Now next comes that we are going to divide it and we are going to make spirals. Upper 2 lines and then we are going to make spirals. 2 lines. Spirals. The next is we are going to make 2 curved lines. And divide this into half and just draw vertical lines. Like this. The next is simple, very simple, which is generally done is just draw 2 lines. Next is we divide it into half and we draw a curved line like this and we color the remaining area. So we are drawing a curve like this, another curve like this, and remaining area is colored. And in this part we are going to draw sleeping lines. Now next is where we are going to draw curves here, then we are going to draw curves. So curves. Curves. In this we are going to draw the same shape inside. We'll color this. Now here we are going to draw more elaborate forms. So first we are going to do a line like this. Now to leave some space, thoda sa more, a little more space, draw another double line. Now what we are going to do is, in this we are going to draw long petals, these kind of ones, the drop petals. But the difference is that the drop petals are of different sizes, so it takes the shape of a flower. And we are going to draw small circles that we've learnt in this part. See how beautiful this has started looking. So I'll show you again. Draw thin line. Then leave a little gap because we want to draw round circles in this. Draw another double line. Then from the center point draw a drop petal. Then smaller size drop petals. Now next is also very beautiful, and this we are going to draw a line like this. And now with these two grid lines draw a circle, semicircle. Now we are going to make the flower. The same drop petals here. Again these are tapering drop petals. Okay, they are not of the same size. And we are going to give our line number. Now what we are going to do is, I am going to color this outside area. Now we are going to draw a semicircle double. I will color this later on and show you how beautiful these look together. Now in this particular, I'm going to draw, we are going to draw flatter leaves like this, also for flatter long petals, and here it's going to be a little smaller and a little smaller. And we are just going to draw a dot. Okay. So it's going to be flatter petals, a little smaller. Now in this I'm showing you another type where what I'm going to do is we are going to draw slanting lines here, and in this part I am going to draw the drop petal in 3 different sizes. See, and the inside drop petal, and I'm just going to color the outside edge. This looks very nice when we are drawing full mandalas with this. I'll show you another variety here where what I'm doing is I'm going to divide this and here in this part I'm going to draw circles of different sizes because this is going to keep getting smaller here. See, if you notice, these are getting tinier, and we are going to simply color this in. And I'll show you one more variety here. Here what I'm doing is I'm drawing a semicircle and I'm drawing an outer line. Now draw the inner semicircle. So the inner semicircle is getting colored like this. So see, now in this way we have learned a lot of filler patterns. Approximately 15-16 of the filler patterns we have done. Do create your basic lines, basic patterns. Do revise all your basic patterns and then revise all your filler patterns and practice your filler patterns before we go on to the next lesson. And in the next lesson we will learn how to create our first mandala. Thanks for watching. Do like our video and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the notification button or the bell button so that you can be notified as soon as we are live or we put a new video. Thank you so much, and bye bye.